Basic drawings and operations in SAFE. In this video, you will learn to perform some basic operations, using simple tools, which will help you get acquainted with the software. Open the SAFE software. Select the File menu, and click on New Model. Choose the design code and units, which will be same, as illustrated in the earlier videos. In the Design Preferences option, select Modify/Show. Click on the Minimum Cover Slabs tab. Here, you will be changing the cover values, depending on your problem statement. You need not make any changes for now. Click on OK. The Initial Model option has different templates to choose from, which will directly generate the selected model, with the properties and dimensions that you will provide. Let's try out with a single isolated footing. Click on the Single Footing option. The Properties box for the single footing is displayed, where you have to provide the dimensions and properties. In the Plan Dimensions option, the left edge distance is the distance from the left edge of the footing to the coinciding column and footing center. Similarly, the right, top and bottom edge distances are the lengths from the right edge, top edge, and bottom edge to the center respectively. Keep all the values as 2 meters now. The load size is equal to the dimension of the cross-section of the column, which is providing load onto the footing. The single footing template considers the column plan shape as square, and hence the load size is mentioned as square. The load option is for applying the loads subjected by the column onto the footing. You can give the axial load values, P, or moments in X or Y direction. In each of these, you have the option for giving dead and live loads, separately. Keep all the default load values. The footing thickness is the considered thickness of the footing. Based on your design results, you might have to change the footing thickness later, which you will learn in the later videos. The subgrade modulus is the property of the soil underneath, given by the ratio of soil bearing capacity to allowable settlement. Here 2e plus 4 means 2 into 10 to the power 4. Click on OK to exit the single footing initial settings box. The plan view of the isolated footing, with the properties that you have set, is now displayed in the software window. You can zoom in with your mouse middle wheel, or from the zoom options in the toolbar. You can also use the pan option, as shown, to navigate between different areas of the model. If you click once on the interior area of the footing will get selected. This can be verified in the bottom left area, where it is mentioned as one area selected. If you click again, in the interior area of the column also gets selected along with the footing. You can check in the bottom left corner, where it is mentioned as 2 areas selected. Similarly, you can click on the center to select the axial point of the column, as shown. Suppose you want to select only the column, and not the footing. Press Escape on your keyboard to undo whatever you had selected. Now click inside the column area, and only the column will be selected. You can press Escape to deselect everything. You will now define the materials of the footing. In the Define menu, click on Materials. Click on Add New Material. Let us add the M30 concrete material. Type the material name as M30 and material type as concrete. Now, you have to give the standard values of M30 concrete, which is necessary for accurate analysis in the software. The standard values can be obtained easily from a simple online search. Type the values as displayed. As the name M30 suggests, the compressive strength is 30 Newton per millimeter square. So enter the value 30. Click on OK, and the M30 concrete has been defined. Likewise, you can add other materials as well. Click on OK to exit the Define Materials dialog box. Once the material is defined, you need to define the structural elements with these materials. Go to Define, and click on Slab Properties. You will get 2 slab properties by default: footing, and stiff. These properties are there, as you have used the single footing template. The stiff here refers to the column above the footing, so do not get confused, although it is under slab properties. Select footing, and click on Modify/Show Property. Change the slab material to the M30 material that you had defined. You can change the footing thickness from the initial value of 600 mm to some other value here. Mark the thick plate option only, and click on OK. Similarly, change the properties of the stiff, as displayed. Click on OK, to exit the Slab Properties dialog box. Once again, go to the Define menu, and click on Soil Subgrade Properties. Already, one soil property is listed, based on the initial settings of the soil that you had given. Select the soil property, and click on Modify/Show Property. Here you have the option to change the subgrade modulus from the initial values. Click on OK. Click on OK again, to exit the Soil Properties dialog box. You have defined the properties of the elements. Now, you will assign these defined properties to the model. Click on the footing area, outside the column area, but inside the footing edges. You can verify the selection from the bottom left corner. Once the footing is selected, go to the Assign menu, select Slab Data, and click on Properties. Select the footing property, and click on OK. The footing property has been assigned to the selected slab area. If you zoom in, you can notice that the footing and stiff options are displayed one on top of the other. The software has automatically assigned the stiff property to the column on top of the footing when you assign the footing property. This is because you had used the single footing template. So when you assign the footing property to the slab below, the software automatically understood that the column above possesses the property of stiff, and hence assigns it automatically. You can right-click on the area of the column to check for the assigned properties. Click on OK to exit. Similarly, you can right-click on the area of the footing to see the properties. You have performed some basic operations in the SAFE software, which will help you to understand the next two videos in an easier way. In the next video, you will learn about isolated footing.